Hi, this is WXYXZ and this is the final video in the Elliott wave tutorial. So what we're going to touch on in this video is complex corrective patterns, and the two labeling systems for our complex corrective patterns are WXY and WXYXZ. So I'll start off with the more simple variant, which is the WXY. Now if we plot a WXY here, so WXY, W essentially represents one type of corrective pattern, yeah? X is then a corrective pattern in itself, which is joining the second corrective pattern, yeah? So it's two corrective patterns here, connected by another corrective pattern. And the labeling system, the subwave count, is generally 333, because as with the majority of corrective patterns, apart from triangles, we usually see 3 waves down. Very often we see in WXY patterns we see ABCs forming, so we could see something like this: ABC down followed by an ABC up, and then finishing with an A, B, C down. So this is a WXY pattern, and what it is, it's a zigzag pattern connected by a zigzag pattern with another zigzag pattern. Yeah, we call this a double zigzag, and I'll go into this in a bit more depth shortly, this double zigzag pattern, but I just wanted to illustrate how we have two corrective patterns, that's the wave W and wave Y, connected by an X wave, which in itself is a corrective pattern, but you can see it's of a smaller degree. Yeah, the length of it is not comparable with the length of W and Y. And you can see the subwave count here, 333. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, and then a final 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll just clear that up, and now we're just going to touch on the WXYXZ. So basically we've got 3 corrective patterns here joined by these smaller corrective patterns which are labeled X. So the main corrective patterns are the W, the Y, and the Z. So let's just plot this on here. So we've got W is our first corrective pattern, then we're going to connect in wave X before our second corrective pattern, which we call Y, then we have our second X here, and then we have our final corrective pattern, which we call Z. Again, the wave count will be 33333. Yeah, that's the subwave count. So you'll expect 3 waves in this wave, wave W, 3 waves in X, 3 waves in Y, 3 waves in the second X, and 3 waves in Z. Alright, of course, if we're seeing triangles at any point, then you won't see 3 subwaves, you'll see 5 subwaves. However, we still use this general subwave count for a WXYXZ, but just keep in mind you could have a triangle at these levels that we call X, and you can also have it at the terminal as the terminal correction as part of the major pattern. Basically, triangles can occur anywhere except in wave W. They'll never occur in W, so they won't, whether it's a WXY or a WXYXZ, you'll never find a triangle in wave W, and in the WXYXZ you'll never find it in wave Y either, because triangles are either the final corrective wave or you'll find them in the X wave. Yeah, but they'll never be one of the earlier corrective waves in the chain of corrective waves. It will only be in the terminal leg or the X wave. Yeah. Apart from that, you can get absolutely any corrective pattern in W, Y, and Z, or even X. You can have any corrective pattern, so any combination. Yeah. And this is why corrective waves are the real art of mastering an Elliott wave, because there's so many variations, and it's what makes them very hard to trade. Okay, So let me just give you an example of what you could see. You could see an initial A, B, C down, and then for example we could have an X wave which may be a triangle. So let's say for example we have an A, B, C, D, E, and then let's say our final leg could be an expanded flat, so we could have an A, B, C. So we could see something like this, and we would label it WXY. The way we would label it is the end of our first corrective pattern would be wave W, then our X wave will be this triangle which is finishing here, and then Y will be at the end of our final corrective pattern, which is this expanded flat. So yeah, you can have any combination you like. The only exception is triangles, as I mentioned earlier, will occur in the terminal leg, where it will either be in a Z or the Y wave, or it can occur in the X wave, so X here or X here or X here. They're the only places that the triangles can occur. But the other corrective patterns have no limitations. They can occur in W, X or Y, or W, X, Y, X or Z. They can occur absolutely anywhere. So an expanded flat, for example, can occur in any of these waves and any of these waves, or a running flat or a zigzag can occur in any of these waves and any of these waves. Now, just want to run quickly through a quick tip for recognizing a double zigzag or a triple zigzag. So a double zigzag is found in our WXY. So W is our first zigzag pattern, Y is the second zigzag, and they're actually connected by a smaller zigzag. So let's just quickly draw that. So we'll get our first corrective pattern, which is a zigzag, and this will be our wave W, and then a slightly smaller connecting wave, which is our X wave, which in itself is a zigzag, before we get our final terminal leg, which is Y, which in itself is a zigzag. So we call this a double zigzag because there's two zigzags connected here. And the wave count, you'll be able to count 7 waves down. So this is wave 1, 2, 3. The X wave is one wave in itself. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So whenever you see 7 legs down and the waves seem to be overlapping, then you should be thinking double zigzag. So you can expect a reversal at this stage. This could well be the end of our retracement. Yeah, so when you see 7 legs down, just think this could be the end of the retracement. You will obviously want to look at fib retracement levels. So if you plot a fib retracement from the beginning all the way to the top of the preceding major wave, you would want to see this retracement hit at a significant fib level, maybe the 50% or the 61.8%, and that would give further confirmation that this correction pattern is finished, and would give you some good confidence that a long position has been set up. Alright, so that's our 7 waves down, which represents a double zigzag. Now I just want to show you what a triple zigzag will look like. So basically you just get an additional X wave, so A, B, C, followed by a Z wave, which again is an A, B, C. Now the number of waves down that we'll count is 11. Yeah, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, in this situation, when you see 11 waves down, you should think this is the end of a triple zigzag. Now these aren't as common as double zigzags. Double zigzags are very common, but these triple zigzags are less common. You'll see them making very deep retracements where the market is looking quite weak, and but they do occur, so look out for them. If you see 11 waves down, think, is this a double zigzag? You should again look for a fib retracement level to show that this correction pattern is coming to an end. So that's pretty much it for these complex correction patterns. As I say, the most common findings are these double zigzags. You can get triple zigzags as well, but with our complex correction patterns you can have any combination whatsoever. It's only triangles that have some limitations as to where they occur. All the other corrective patterns can occur in any of these waves at all. Alright, I hope this just illustrates how there's a large number of variabilities that correction patterns can form. For example, we may see this ABC and we may all be thinking that this is the end of the correction pattern at this stage. And then we see, oh no, it's made another ABC here, so we can expect another ABC down, and it's made a double zigzag. So a lot of people will then be thinking this is the end. Before you know it, it makes another leg down. Yeah. So this is why correction patterns catch so many traders out. People never know truly when the correction pattern is finished, because one correction pattern can easily turn into another. And this is a more simple triple combination pattern here. You can obviously get flat patterns connected with triangles, connected with zigzags, which are a lot more difficult to read. So there's lots of things to look out for. This adds to the complexity of Elliott wave. But yeah, that's why there are other indicators that we have to use when trading. So Elliott wave alone is it's useful for forecasting, where we can start focusing our attention and looking for a trade. But in order to put the actual trade on, we should be looking at other indicators also to add as confirmation, in particular Fibonacci levels, but there's lots of other indicators that should be used in tandem with Elliott wave. So I'll leave it there for now, guys, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the Elliott wave tutorial. I feel like I've covered pretty much everything there is to know about Elliott wave. Of course, there are some minor details that can be discussed, but then we'd be talking at extreme lengths with regards to, for example, different Fibonacci levels that you see in certain waves. I'll try and do a tutorial on Fibonacci in itself, but anyway, that'll be for another video. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed the content. Take care.